told your friend you're not okay? And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, 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 as you fade away.
Hi everyone, welcome back, or welcome to my channel if you're here for the first time. This is the final part of Josie's interview and part 3 of this reading and my third video for the day. So if you haven't watched parts 1 and 2, I would suggest you watch them first so this continues to make sense. Hi, I'm Kerry. I'm an intuitive psychic, healer, spiritual mentor and author, and I work with many other highly respected and well-known Australian psychics. 4 of us got together and watched the interview of Gus's grandparent and did a psychic investigation of the interview responses. What happened was really interesting as we all did this independently and then shared the results with each other at the end. Most of our responses matched. So, because the energy doesn't change, and I've been asked about Gus's missing person case so many times, I thought I would do this again and record live whilst I do it, so I could share it with you and maybe give you a psychic impression of what happened to Gus. Now, this is for entertainment purposes for those with a curious mind seeking psychic impressions and is not meant to be considered as evidence of anyone's innocence or guilt. I will be using divination rods for this, but often receive psychic impressions at the same time. So if this happens, I will share these with you too if I can. The rods will cross for yes, turn outward for no, and swing side to side for not yes or no. Ask a more specific question. So let's get started on this final part, shall we?
I think somebody's taken him. Whether he's alive or he's dead, God only knows. But the only good thing about it is that if someone has taken him, then there's a thread of a possibility that he may still be alive.
This question has been asked already in a few different ways, but for the family's benefit, I'm going to ask it again because they believe this is what happened. And by asking the same questions in different ways, it helps confirm or contradicts a previous answer. So it's a great way to cross-check the energy reading. So let's ask it. Was Gus abducted and is he still living? Okay. Okay. Let's still ask the question in a slightly different way just to be sure. Was Gus given to someone and is he still living? Okay. Okay. Let's move on.
February this year, Police hold a press conference and they declare his case a major crime, telling us that he was likely killed or his body disposed of after an accident.
What evidence did they have to support that?
They did not disclose any evidence that they may or may not have.
To your knowledge, has there been forensic evidence found to support that major crime theory?
Not to my knowledge.
But this is a big development. They're putting it squarely back on involvement within the family.
That's right. In that press conference, abduction, unlikely. Taken by wildlife, unlikely. So back to the family we go.
The person who has withdrawn their cooperation is now considered a suspect in the disappearance of Gus. I do want to stress, however, that Gus's parents are not suspects in his disappearance.
So they declare a major crime, but they don't announce any charges. They don't prosecute anyone.
And at this stage, we still have no charges. A main suspect, but no charges. How do you think South Australian police have handled this investigation?
To me, they just seem to have tunnel vision, and it's getting to the point of almost being vindictive now.
And do you think there's been any discrimination against Jose?
Well, I do. You know, as everybody knows, Josie is a transgender. I challenged the police about this, you know, that they were targeting her because of her transgender situation. And they were mortally offended that I should say it.
Are they with a hat?
So when police declared this a major crime, the family stopped speaking to them. They both hired high-profile lawyers and haven't spoken to them directly since. They haven't been happy with how the search was handled in the first place, and now they're being targeted as possible killers.
All of them, or just Josie?
Just Josie.
Up next,
They think that I buried him, took him out and buried him.
later.
Do you think he's still alive?
We did ask this question a few nights ago, or when we went through the questions as a group. But I also do think we should ask it again now. And I think that's the question of, was discrimination and targeting involved by police when naming Josie as a suspect? Let's ask that question again. Was discrimination and targeting involved by police when naming Josie as a suspect? That is one of the most slow, interesting notes that I've had in a long time. It's almost stopped almost halfway, no, about 3/4 way back, and it's even slowly moving further back. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, now it's gone all the way back. Can you see that? Okay, please reset. Thank you. So I think it's indicating that I guess we have to understand that there's possibly people with their own unconscious bias, perhaps, in that space, but on the whole, it's not the main reason, perhaps. And that's just one interpretation. So if you disagree with me, you have a different interpretation of that, please go ahead, share that in the comments, and you have the keep your interpretation. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I think that's sort of teetering a little bit on both sides of that. Okay, let's continue, shall we?
Now, for the first time, what police have told her and what she wants to say to police.
Have police told you that you're a main suspect in the case of Gus's disappearance?
They've said that they don't think I hurt him, they think that I buried him. That's one of the theories they're working on. And as I say, that's for so many reasons it's ludicrous. It just, yeah, doesn't make sense. Why would you do that to yourself when you know that, okay, if he'd had an accident, you'd just go, well, you know, as much as we hate it and everything, you know, he's had an accident, right, you know, we've got to deal with it.
Gus was who you were going to hand over the farm to eventually.
Oh, yeah, that was, I mean, that's the other thing why it's ludicrous. I mean, why would a 70-year-old like myself and like Shan be working, which we are. I tend to probably work close to 70 hours a week. I don't stop for weekends or anything. I just keep working every daylight hour there is. Why would I do that at this age if I don't intend to try and handle the property over to Jess and the two boys in the best possible condition I can do it? And I know that I've been accused of taking him from where he had an accident and died and taking him out and burying him, but to think that I could actually go out there and do something like that, to think that I would be stupid enough to do it, for a start, is ludicrous. And to think that I could face up to the trauma of doing that would also be ridiculous. There's no way under those, when it's so dry and dusty like that, there's no way you can bury something without leaving evidence that the ground has been disturbed. And the amount of searching that went on, aerial, with a helicopter, with the fixed wing, with the drones, with everything, you would see signs of someone being buried. I mean, obviously they were thinking about the dam, and I had several neighbours who said to me afterwards it would be, again, ridiculous to think that he'd gone into the dam because there was a weed all around the dam, and if anything had gone in there, if we'd put him in the dam or if he'd walked into the dam or anything, you would disturb that weed and it'd be damn obvious.
Have police ruled out abduction?
Almost certainly. They believe it is so unlikely that a stranger would be so opportunistic to go into a property so remote.
The Rods agreed with that on multiple occasions, and if you've looked at the tables, it's also what other people, or the other psychics, were getting as well. So that abduction just is, yeah, I would have to agree with that, sadly. But I think perhaps, you know, the question, you know, they're definitely questioning Josie here. And look, you'd hate to think that any of that happened unless it was thrust upon you and you felt that it, you know, there was no other option. So you got to start asking yourself those questions, but that's not on a psychic basis. That's just a commentary on what was said just there. So let's ask a question though. Bring the rods back in. Was Gus's body removed from the property? Okay. You know what that means by now. Okay, so we'll move on to the next question. Was Gus, or would they find Gus in the dam that is on the property? Okay, that was interesting because I did start to go inwards until I added the clarifier about being on the property. So that could be interesting. Might be another way, another question that could be asked down the track. Okay, for the moment, let's keep going.
There was no sign that he'd been down there, no blood on the concrete floor, nothing.
In your expert opinion, you've had a look at Joe.
Okay, so the other main place was that Shannon had said that she'd seen him at what they called the bomb shelter at around 5 o'clock. And then he wasn't there when everyone else came back at 5:30, and that's when they couldn't find him. So how about we just stop there for a second and we'll ask that question, because you were saying there was nothing there. They searched there, no blood, no sign of any injuries having occurred there or any sign of him. Okay, fallen down. So let's ask a question about that. Did an incident occur in the space they call the bomb shelter? Okay, again, that's, sort of almost not yes and no. Okay, so I'm going to just add a clarifier in there. Did a minor incident occur in that area? Okay, so things maybe started there. Okay. That's interesting. All right, well, let's keep going.
All right, whenever you're ready, I suppose.
Good to go, yeah.
Good to go. Detective Chief Superintendent Darren Filkey from Major Crime Investigation Branch. Gus's grandparents, who continue to reside here at Oak Park Station, represented by solicitors. All communications that Task Force Horizon are having with Gus's grandparents are through the solicitors. One of the grandparents of Gus remains a suspect in this investigation.
What would your message be to the public and to authorities now?
Keep looking for any sign that a child is Gus. Don't take any notice of his hair. His hair is his crowning glory, but it's also the thing that everyone remembers about him the most, and you have to take that hair away from that face and look at that face. And if I just saw the eyes of Gus, I would know him instantly, because it's the way you are.
Yes, and look, never give up. No matter any of this, it's just don't give up the search for the truth on this. Okay, we'll ask the next question that was asked of the group. Was Gus abducted and his identity and look changed? And again, we've got a no with that. I was just about to ask them to double check because it was a bit wonky, and I was going to ask them just to double confirm, and they did it for me anyway before I asked. Oh dear. Okay, so again, another way of asking this abduction question and seeing whether or not the results remain the same.
Do you think we will ever find out what happened to Gus?
I think there is a real possibility that this case will never be solved and we'll never know. And sadly, it could end up like a case like William Tyrrell or Madeleine McCann. It's as heartbreaking as it is to say, it's a very real possibility.
A cold case with no answers, no clues.
That's how it might stay. Is it hard being in the house?
A lot of his toys still around. We bought him a little two-wheel push bike for pedalling around with trainer wheels on. We thought he'd just about at that stage. That's still sitting in the lounge, and every time I walk past, I go, oh my God. There's all sorts of stuff that reminds me of him.
This situation won't finish until they find either a boy or a body. And, you know, ultimately, if Josie is proven innocent, they've already wrecked her life.
We're devastated about what's happened. I mean, you go for a drive on any part of the Barrier Highway and you do think about that little boy, Gus. I don't stop thinking about him. I pray that, you know, somewhere along the line he's still around, he's still alive somewhere. That's what I think.
We don't feel that this is a horror story, if you like. And if you think about it, nothing else makes sense. Nothing else makes sense.
It's a really hard one, isn't it? And look, I really do take to heart the fact that everything we do here, even with the psychic work, we're picking up energy and impressions, is what we are doing. And there's nothing that says that that is fact, you know, so it's just what we're picking up and how we're interpreting it. And I think there's nothing worse than sort of, you know, making some sort of insinuation against one person or another that obviously can't be substantiated. It's only it is a psychic reading. It could never be used in a court of law. Okay, so as much as I trust our abilities and what we do, there are a few questions that my conscience and my heart wouldn't allow me to share the responses that we got publicly. That's not saying that I don't have trust and belief in the amazing psychics that I work with or in my own psychic abilities, but it's just not the right thing to do. So I will let you know what those questions were, though, because I would like to encourage you that if there's something that you think we could ask in relation to this, then please add it into comments, into questions, and we might do something and get back to people's questions on that. But just to let you know, these are the ones that we will not be answering publicly. So just keep your eye up here just for a moment, and I'm just going to quickly take you through what those questions are. Now, this question I'll still answer for you. Will Gus be found on the property? And I'll ask the next one too. Will the truth ever be proven? Well, there you go, my lovelies. That brings all those questions to a close. Let me know your thoughts about it as well. Any questions, additional questions you may have on the information, pop those in comments. Really like to hear that. This is the final part. So I would be really interested in your thoughts and comments. And before I finish up, I will also add the tables as usual, although some of the answers have been redacted from those, but it will give you a snapshot of the results of all 4 psychics got a few nights ago, and I've also added in the responses that we've got today. So let me know your thoughts. Does this resonate with what you've been thinking from the information out there? Does it not resonate with you? I don't mind either way. Please leave your comments. Just be polite about it. All right. Well, our thoughts are definitely with Gus. May he be at peace wherever he is right now, and may there be some resolution for the family, extended family, and the community. All right, thank you everyone for staying with me. See you again soon, I hope. Bye.